Kingsley end up with a -5 in a minute?
4:30 tonight.
First of all, I don't believe in numbers.
Don't get fooled. Grab a drink, because this is Hangover Time.
Hey. Well, that was stupid. I'm sorry. That was dumb. That was a dumb way to lose a game. Holy shit. Like, listen, Spo knows better than me. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Hall of Fame coach. I mean, top 15 coach of all time. Why did Jimmy spend so much fucking time at that scorer's table? I'm not even talking about the bench. I'm not even talking about the bench. Just the scorer's table. Just holding that motherfucker up so it don't tip over. Jimmy was there just in case that motherfucker tipped over. We just blew a fucking lead. I mean, holy shit. I don't get that. Listen, it's one game early on in the season. 1-3 ain't the way you want to start. We saw some good things tonight. Once again, Deadman's a disaster. When Bam leaves the floor, it's a disaster. I don't know what the fuck Tyler was on, goddammit. Like, Tyler had a great game and just decided, you know what, all this goodwill that I've built up with Heat fans and Heat Nation, I'm going to throw it away like 4 consecutive times. Like, just whipping stupid passes. Just whipping dumb shit. Hey, who cares? Fuck, two-hand chest pass? None of that shit. I'm going to whip this dumb shit over here, whip this bullshit over here. I'm going to complain about a foul, not get back on defense, allow transition scores. What the fuck? That was a stupid game to lose. I am Alphonse Sidney, a.k.a. Alf954. Welcome into my first Hangover Time of the season. I know G Novice was in here for me last week, and I know you guys all loved it. I read all the comments. It was positive. So positive. Anyway, bring me out, Brass. Thank you for tuning in. If you are watching live on Twitch, we love you. If you're watching live on the 5 Reasons feed, we love you as well. Thank you for tuning in. This will be the last week we're doing a live show on the 5 Reasons feed. If you want to continue to watch Hangover Time, go ahead, go to twitch.tv/Miami Heat Beat. Go ahead and subscribe. We are live after, not every game, one game a week, and we announce it on the
one time.
One time. And then we announce it on the Twitter feed so you guys can check us out. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, on the Miami Heat Beat YouTube page, we love you. Subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Nothing too crazy because we're getting tired of that shit. Anyway. Woo, guys, it's good to be back. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be doing Hangover Time.
What you been doing, man?
I've just been having babies and shit, you know.
baby management.
Months.
Usual.
You know, just banging out babies. Pop, pop, pop. How do you do it, Moose?
I know. Okay. Drink it up with a baby.
All right.
Load management.
So now normally, poor load management by me. Normally we talk about what we're drinking, but we're not going to talk about what we're drinking tonight. We're going to find out who kicked our ass.
They kicked our ass.
Woo! There's a lot to choose from, Moose. Who kicked our ass tonight?
I'm in between 2 people, and I know we're going to talk about one of them later, so I'm going to go with the other one and say Haywood Highsmith. I don't even want to talk about him, Brass. Take me out.
I'm sick of High Booty Highsmith. I'm sorry. I said it on one of the spaces. He looks like a Cosby kid with that haircut. I'm not about it. I'm not about it, Tiff.
Him and
listen. He showed us some things. So I wanted the man to get a try. That's all I wanted.
Showed us enough. That's what he showed us.
That's all I wanted. He got a try.
Tiff, I'm sick of that sock. I'm sick of that one high ass sock. I'm about fed up with that shit. I can't take it. I can't call him high socks. Look like half of Eric Dampier.
You want to talk about socks? Jimmy looked like he had 8th grade girl slouch socks. Did you see that? Did you see? Yes. Yes. Did you see that? If you want to talk about socks.
Yeah, like he was rocking some jellies. Who kicked our ass?
All right, real quick, let me send a shout out to Shade 50, my boy. Bear down. I see you watching it. I see you. Man, that 3-point arc kicked our ass.
Mm-hmm. And for multiple games in a row at this point.
You know, I'll get back to it. We come back around. I want to talk about
offense because people have been getting on my ass by saying, I'm like, they aren't scoring enough. No, it's the defense. I'm like,
it's not enough room on the court. You see that, right?
99 points a game right now. And maybe in 1997, that would have got you a 3 seed.
Oh, 1996, we were the hottest team in the league.
You were shaking something with 97 points back then.
It's because we playing like we using a peach basket. They out there like... What the hell's going on?
Not sure what's happening. Brass, who kicked our ass tonight?
Oh man, I don't know who didn't kick our ass tonight. I mean, we were looking pretty good for a while until we just completely shit the bed in the end, just like we almost did in the last game. Just these, I mean, really, yeah, Jimmy just hanging out by the fucking scores table. I really, really, really hope that's not something greater to be concerned about. I did see Jimmy kind of smirking, so I'm not too stressed about it, but I also do want to give credit because I know people are always they always bitch at us in the comments. Raptor fans are going to be all over our mentions going, oh, you never said the Raptors are good. You know, you only said the Heat just suck.
Watch the Raptors show if you want that.
Yeah, well, also, yeah, the Raptors are good. Like, what do you want? Yeah. But also
like
we had,
we
had some major deficiencies tonight. I mean, the team is not gelling in similar ways that they were last season. I got to be honest, I didn't expect a win tonight because Caleb and Jovic out. We were really hoping Jovic was going to have his first NBA game tonight, but then he fucking got suspended. What the fuck? Whatever. Adam Silver kicked our ass too.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny, who kicked our ass tonight?
Nick Nurse, and I don't like how much I have to give him credit, but that dude's such a fucking good coach, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. We might later on in the show. I kind of don't want to because I really just don't care to. You can take me out, Brass. Fuck tonight.
Succinct. I'm going to say, and I said I don't want to talk about Highsmith. Listen, Deadman.
What is there to talk about?
Deadman tried to kick our ass as much as possible, and we overcame the Deadman minutes. Like, we overcame that shit. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, man. Spo kicked our ass tonight. Spo kicked our... First of all, bringing Jimmy got to the scores table with about 5.5 minutes left in the fourth. The game was slipping away. How many minutes did Jimmy play tonight? 34 minutes. Something is wrong with the way we're balancing his minutes. The fact that he got in about 3.5, 4 minutes left in the fourth and still was at 34 minutes for the game, something's going on in his minutes somewhere. We have to figure that out. He needs to be back in with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Plain and simple. Like we've watched 2 games now where we completely lost a game because Jimmy was on the bench and one because Jimmy and Tyler were on the bench. So I want to say
who's Jimmy? Who's Jimmy's backup?
Max?
No.
I don't know anymore. I have no idea.
You lost it.
You had it with Caleb?
Yeah.
Well, Caleb was starting, but yes.
I'm talking about last. Yeah. That's the reason why Jimmy was able to balance those minutes when he was healthy because Caleb came in for him.
Yeah.
They don't have it.
And that's the problem.
Now they got Hamish out there.
Yikes.
With his high sock. Looking
to throw it back to Tiff, this is why we need to see some Daddy Kane. We need
I thought
tonight was going to be the night too, Tiff.
I thought tonight was going to be the night
for it. We need to see somebody come in and spell Jimmy on both sides of the floor for a couple of minutes.
But I do want to say, okay, for real though, give credit to a Raptor. Precious Achiuwa kicked our ass.
Oh man!
I'm happy for him. I gotta be honest. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not.
That's like saying.
Have you checked
That's like
his
seeing
life?
your ex. That's like seeing your ex at a fucking restaurant.
I don't want to see no ex happy. Somebody with a super chat.
My bad.
His actually name is somebody. Let's take a moment to recognize that they're 1-3 while Kelly Olynyk is leading the Jazz to a 3-0 start. By the way, Lowry out there shooting like Westbrook. We didn't bring up Lowry yet.
We need to have the Lowry conversation, though.
We need to have the Lori marketing conversation.
Oh, you know,
I tried to get you to have it last year, Al. You didn't want to hear it.
Listen, I'm not. I don't want to talk about what should have trades and what should have done and should have did this. I don't want to get into it. Corb says, face facts, Deadman and Highsmith are worth less than the super chat. The super chat was for $4.99. I think you're being generous.
Yep. $4.98.
Listen, at one point, Deadman was a -16 in 5 minutes.
I don't even know how that's possible. I don't even know how that's possible.
It was like an automatic run every time this motherfucker stepped on the floor. Like automatic.
At halftime, I saw the stat by Sam Smith. Shout out to him. -36 in 27 minutes for Dwayne Deadman over the last 3 games. Unbelievable.
It probably got worse tonight.
We can talk about the numbers and all that stuff. The fucking hook shot, that was
hilarious. No, it was worth it though.
I have to give credit where it's due. Like, to throw some shit up like that is astounding. Like, I can only respect it.
Between the Kobe fadeaway and that shit, I mean, he is the Patrick Ewing meme. Have you ever shot that shot? Do you practice that shot?
When's the last time you've seen a skyhook in an NBA game?
When I was rewatching Winning Time over the summer.
There you go.
That shit wasn't even a skyhook. That was like a low grazing crop duster.
That was that
Shout
shit.
out to Frankie. He called it a land hook because he didn't even get up. I love that.
Someone's crop
Love that
dusting.
joke, Frankie.
Well,
It's funny because it's sad.
Yeah, we're joking about it, but
Laugh at our pain.
for the uninitiated, for the 5 Reasons crowd, the ones who are watching on the 5 Reasons stream,
Thinking, what the fuck is this?
yeah, well, yeah.
Why do they talk so much about Deadman?
Listen, when you hear the mechanic on the broadcast, and when the fact that he has become kind of a fan, we did that. We made him a fan favorite. We made shirts and merch and all kinds of shit, right? But unfortunately, you know what, Brass? For the last time ever on Hangover Time, you guys are privy to, the end of an era.
We're closing
the
up
last
shop.
time ever on Hangover Time, we bring you Deadman's Garage.
My favorite though, that old black man that work on everybody's car in the black neighborhood.
Come on,
Change owners pretty quickly, man. Jesus, Spirit is ruthless.
They got candy corn up in there.
They didn't let him have his last episode. They closed it up like that.
That's fucked up. And I went there and they had a costume too. Fucking 50% off.
Come on, man.
Jesus.
Oh, it includes the
man.
wrench though. That's nice.
No, that's pretty good. Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Not the $9 million contract, but.
Well.
Brass, play that one more time. I just feel like it's sad. Like, they should have at least let the whole, the intro before they made it a Spirit of Halloween.
I know, it's not cool. Not cool.
My favorite though, that old black man that work on everybody's car in the black neighborhood.
It's the crickets.
That Ted Lasso costume looks fire though.
It's flying off the shelf.
Listen, it's not just about his play. There's legal reasons who we might get into on a later date. Why we close up the garage. But Moose, the backup 5 minutes. I've been harping on this shit. And listen, that's not the reason they lost this game. They were able to come back. Right. I really think, execution in the fourth quarter. They only scored 14 points in the fourth.
Yeah.
Like this is the problem, and this is the second time this
late
has
game
happened.
Execution is what lost us the game, and that's what I think.
But the backup 5 minutes, like, is this going to change when Yurt and Jovic come back, or are we just going to continue to trot out these dudes who are in for defensive purposes but don't even play no damn defense?
Alf, it has to change. I don't think Spo has a choice. I think when Yurt comes back, first of all, Yurt by all means was earning his own minutes in the rotation, at least to see what he can develop into. I do think at some point we will get Jovic at the 5, mainly because we're starting to see that we cannot rely on Deadman. We're going to have to find these minutes somewhere else. At some point, Spo has to see what's in front of him and start making changes, because we can't do this all season long. It didn't lose us the game tonight, but make no question about it, Deadman minutes have been killing us in every single game. It is a major detriment to what we're trying to establish with an offense that does not look cohesive in any sense of the way in late games. That is my biggest fear with this team. Late game execution, even going back to last regular season, it doesn't look good. And that's my issue with Kyle Lowry. That's what he's here for, in my opinion. Fixing that late game offense and making sure everything's running smoothly, and it looks completely stagnant.
Tiff, like, Moose is right about the backup 5 minutes, but he's also right about late game execution. Because, Jimmy needs to play those minutes. He absolutely does. But Kyle and Tyler can't be that bad with the ball in their hands in the last 5 minutes of the game. Nothing. You just.
I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is for the first 4 games. I think the problem is that they still haven't figured out who they want to have the ball. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. And I don't mind Tyler having the ball in the first quarter, controlling it in the second quarter. I don't mind. When he has the ball and it's 5 minutes left, I don't want that. I don't want him at the top of the key, isolating with people, dribbling. No, this is when you need to get to your spots, and Kyle or Jimmy should have the ball, and they should be playmaking. And that's the opportunity where you can get Herro running off screens and moving around and doing things like that, instead of him trying to control the offense. Because here's the other thing we've noticed in the first 4 games. The second half, Tyler has not had good games, because that's when the defense is keying in on him and they're forcing other people to beat them. So why not take the ball out of his hands, get him moving, and at the worst, get Jimmy going downhill. But you need something different than him just trying to ISO and get past, a guy that's 6'11" with a 7-foot wingspan. It's not working.
Brass, a couple people in the comments have talked about Duncan having a good game. And I honestly thought he was one of the highlights of this game. He played really well, got into the paint, created for other people. He was hitting his shots. And, we hear all the time guys earn their minutes. I really wasn't sure why Duncan got pulled from the game as early as he did and never got another shot.
Yeah, I don't really get that either. I mean, yeah, he did 15 minutes, I think.
16, and he was playing really well.
Yeah, he was playing well, and I think that goes into Spo's stubbornness. I think there's a lot of people that love to bitch at Spo, act like they're smarter than him. These things are not true. However, Spo is absolutely stubborn.
Yeah,
he's one of the greatest coaches ever, and he's also one of the more stubborn coaches ever. And I think at this point, right now, you don't have you're behind the 8 ball right now. Yeah. Right? You haven't built up. You're not starting the season 4-0, and it's like, all right, I'll tinker around a little bit. No, this happens to other teams, and they start off the season, the first third of the season, with such a deficit. They spend all their time and energy just clawing back to the top. And we can't afford to do that shit, because we see what happens in the playoffs. We need to be able to get a decent enough seeding to be able to have people rested into the playoffs, because that's ultimately our downfall. So yeah, right now, if you have a player with the hot hand, they need to be in there. They have to be in there.
Ride the hot hand, and we've talked about it a lot. And Kenny, you're a big Tyler fan.
Yeah.
we talk like it's funny. Sometimes people have been complaining about Jimmy not having the ball enough, but we've all said, hey, Jimmy, we want Jimmy to have less of a load during the regular season so that he has more. He has more in the tank for the playoffs. If Tyler can't hold down those minutes,
some of that ball handling load.
There you go. If Tyler can't handle those minutes, and I'm not even talking like just don't be that bad. Like those he had four turnovers for the game, and they were all in the fourth quarter. In that time span when Jimmy was on the bench, like he has to be better than that.
He does, but I also just want to point out Jimmy shouldn't have been on the bench in the first place. I get the turnover.
Wait, Kenny, you can't say that.
Jimmy shouldn't have been on the bench. He shouldn't have.
But that's what it was. He was on the bench. We can't be like he shouldn't have been. He was. Hey. Alf is saying whoever's on the court while Jimmy is on the bench has to hold it down.
Well,
it wasn't. But you can't say Jimmy shouldn't have been on the bench.
We have established that Jimmy shouldn't have been on the bench. But
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenny.
But I'm not too mad at the turnovers because Tyler looked so great outside of that throughout the game. That just was what it was. It was a situation. I understand it's not the point, but Jimmy just should have been on the floor at the time. I'm not going to knock down Tyler too much. He had 22 and 15. Max Juice was 3 for 14. He can be better. Bam, I don't know what his field goal percentage was, but he can be better. I'm not really – there's so many problems with the team. I can't really key in on one. And I'm for sure not going to really, criticize Tyler too much. He's been a bright spot all year.
I get you. I understand what you're saying, Kenny. And he had a really good game, 15 rebounds. Like him and Jimmy crashed the boards, and I felt like, okay, finally somebody else stepped up because Deadman and Highsmith combining for 2 again.
All guys.
The big guys.
Our backup power rotation combining for 2 rebounds again. Like that's awesome. But we Tyler got to be better than that.
That was uncharacteristic of Tyler. We'll get into it later in the show,
right.
but
it's not
Tyler has not
him.
been like that with
he
turnovers
this season. He
wasn't
the only one that was horrible in the fourth. He wasn't.
That's the point I'm getting at.
But the point is, though, Alf brought up him. So that's what we talk about, and then we move on to the next shitty person. Let's be real. He had a good game up until then.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Moose, because I don't think there weren't many bright spots in the
No, there wasn't.
No, not at all.
Well, no, and listen, I think that both of you, Tiff and Kenny, are making valid points. Yes, Tyler has been the only bright spot of the season, at least for me so far. You can see his improvements in every aspect of the game. But we can't lie and say that there has been a recurring theme with him where there is a drop-off in the fourth quarter. And I will say that wasn't always the case with him. He used to be dynamite in the fourth quarter and not so great at the start. Now we're kind of getting the flip side of that. I mean, the turnovers tonight are not, that's not the reason we lost the game, but he needs to tighten up later in the game. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. The late game execution is ultimately what lost us this game. And Tyler is a part of that.
Yeah, I will say when Tyler has issues with turnover, it's definitely late quarter offense. That is unquestionable.
And
that
maybe the load's too heavy.
Well, I don't know
but
about
see,
that.
no,
Drip drop. He's kind of
sorry,
the MVP.
listen,
So.
I'm just saying if we wanna kind of pick it apart, because it seems like we do. I'm saying, look at how he plays now. He came off the bench last year. He gave us exactly what he's giving us now, but off the bench. But now But now
that nigga was wilding. He was wilding in the fourth quarter. Like, listen, I know.
But I'm just saying.
I'm not doing the indictment on Tyler's career.
I'm doing all the games though. But I'm doing all.
We're talking about tonight. He's been excellent all season. Tonight. That boy was wilding. Listen, this is not an indictment on Tyler Herro. Tonight, for about 2 minutes, that boy was on his James Johnson pass to the third fucking road kid.
It's true.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
No, he was. He was. But I just kind of am watching and I'm noticing all 4 games, the second half, he's petering out.
He is.
So this is what I'm saying. So right now, the load might be too heavy for him. Because he's really facing the top-notch defense all game now. He's not getting even a bench player coming in, subbing in on him. Like, he's getting top-notch every possession. So it might just be too much right now. Doesn't mean he won't grow into it, but like there is an issue if you look at all second halves of all 4 games.
Tiff, I totally agree with you, but I do think when Lowry starts to turn up, whenever he decides to show up for this year, having him handle the ball late in the game, I think that will truly benefit Tyler's late game offense.
Yeah.
Kyle had 0 turnovers tonight. And to your point, and to further to Kenny's point, saying, you don't want to blame Herro. I get it. Herro played 40 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
Like, why did he have to play? I get there was a lot of
But
guys
this is what I'm saying. Maybe he's not ready yet for all this, all the 40 minutes, all the ball handling, and also, I'm also responsible for this large chunk of offense. Maybe it's too much.
You know what? Okay, so we this season, Hangover Time and Miami Heat Beat have partnered with 5 Reasons. That's why we're on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. And one of the things we're going to do for home games is we are going to bring you some reaction live from the, I was about to say American Airlines Arena, FTX Arena. And tonight we have our boy, Troppy Baby, Tropical Blanket, holding people accountable.
Mr. Accountable.
Mr. Accountable. Where is he?
Well, here. Are you going to call the segment?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we did. Time for a brand new segment. Go ahead with the live reasons. Oh, no, that's wrong. Go ahead, Brad.
Wow.
Robbie, baby.
It's preseason for me still.
I mean, Brass is a mid-season moan. That imaging was beautiful, man. That was awesome.
Are you filming
What
a
about my
cameo
setup?
right now?
Yeah, let me stop. I'm like, because it's like attached to my table, my camera is, so I gotta stop
Are you
leaning
nervous?
on the table so it doesn't wobble. What's going on, man? I got a new video set up.
This is way better than normal.
Wow. This is
Excellent.
preseason.
I mean, I thought you're gonna set
know
me up. Am I just supposed to
Twitter was
talk?
right. It definitely is better with credentials. I mean, I don't know what they were talking about. The
No,
Warriors.
don't show. You're gonna get in
No,
trouble.
don't show that.
You think they're watching this, man? Heat are not watching this.
Alex,
So are you guys gonna ask me anything, or am I just supposed to talk? I don't get it. What is this? What is this segment?
Listen, hold on a second. We can't have some pleasantries and shit.
Yeah, seriously.
What's going on, man?
It's good to see you.
Foreplay, bro.
I just get nervous when the screen is on me like that.
Okay, bring him back full screen. Alex, what were some of the comments post game? Were you able to sit in on Spo's session and talk to anybody in the locker room? I see you're in the lunch area. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm in the FTX Arena back rooms right now. I just left the SPO media availability. I mean, I did get to ask SPO a question, believe it or not. I tried holding him accountable, but really I was setting him up with a positive question just because I know he hates my guts. So I asked him about the Heat being so good at getting to the rim heading into this game. You know, they got to the rim more than the Raptors did again tonight, which has been one of the only good things so far throughout the season. You know, so I think he liked that question. Other than that, he was actually saying that it was on him for not bringing Jimmy Butler earlier into the game. He was kind of just sitting at the scorer's table for a long time there. He didn't have a timeout. He said he should have tried to intentionally foul to get a dead ball so that Jimmy could come into the game. So it was cool to hear, you know, Spo have some accountability there on himself. So even though it wasn't me doing it, shout out Brady Hawk, my colleague over here.
The guy that held him accountable.
Exactly. But yeah, that's the report I've got for you so far. I'm trying to make it in time for the other player interviews that may have started already.
So right now, just by bullshitting, we're holding you up a little bit.
He's like,
Set up a new video thing
I'm
here.
losing.
All right, Alex. Well, thank you. Honestly, that's all that's all I need.
That's a relief. That's a relief.
That's all. I'm glad that Spo said that's on me, son. That's on me. My bad.
Yes.
My boss. I'm glad to hear that.
I met up with Gianni and Alex Solana at halftime, so I don't know if that's like good information for you guys too.
No, it's not.
That's
How
part of the
happy was
reason,
G?
Nothing.
Like,
That does
this is
nothing.
being
How happy was G? Was he popping bottles for the his
the
annual
Raptors.
home and home.
Oh, he loves these win-win games, man.
Yeah.
You guys don't even know. G's in a different mode right now. Some of the things I heard tonight, I cannot repeat on here.
Wow. You have to get that special subscription to the Off the Floor.
Exactly. Check out Off the Floor, our Windows subscription. $305 a month, baby.
Perfect. All right, Alex, go ahead. Go get to the locker room.
Before I leave, I should mention something that other people didn't get to see. I got to see Scotty Barnes get wheeled off last game. I went down to the first floor to redeem my free soda that the Heat give us, and I saw him getting wheeled off. I saw him getting wheeled off the cart there. It was really jarring to see this almost 7-footer get wheeled off on this huge mechanical cart that they were driving there. I'd never seen it before.
No mechanic talk tonight. We're kind of like,
we're done with that for
man. How the tables turn.
All right, Alex.
Alex, we close the garage tonight.
Make sure you hit Tyler one time with a drip drop for me. All right. He'll know what that is.
He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, I probably missed all player interviews already, but it's fine. It's worth it. Break's over there. We're good.
All right, Alex. Thank you for
Alex.
coming in, for joining us. That's live on the floor. We will have that after home games on Hangover Time. Appreciate you. And before we move on, let's bring in another 5 reasons stalwart. That's a good word. I like that word, stalwart. Our good friend. Do you want to do the imaging first, Brad?
No, we can bring him in first. Let's bring him in.
First.
Oh, what's up?
Hey.
So stalwart, loyal, reliable, and hardworking.
Yeah.
A loyal, reliable, and hardworking supporter. Or
That's just Lace picture. Just translate it.
Word up. So I'm a stalwart. Hi everyone, I'm stalwart.
Greg Stalwart.
Sound like the latest Game of Dragons character.
But you know what, Leif, I'm happy you're here because I need it. I think the entire Heat fan base needs it. I know our chat needs it right now. We need a guts check.
I think everybody needs to get a grip. You got to stay together if you got the guts and you don't find the first door and run out of it.
There are no obstacles. There's no obstacles. All there are accusations and opinions. We have done this since 1995.
We'll find out what we're made of here if you got the guts.
This is Guts Check with Greg Sylvander.
Yeah, so that loss sucked. So let's not just avoid the obvious. That game was not cool. Jimmy should have been in sooner. But I mean, to me, Tyler Herro looks a lot better than he did last year. I feel like there's definitely some things in terms of just, you know what? I ain't got guts for you guys tonight. This team is 1-3. They're about to go on a West Coast trip. It is a recipe for disaster. And here's the beauty of this. I feel like we get to find out if our team is real or not, if they got the guts, if they're going to actually compete early. You know what I mean? We don't have to wait a long time. The music that you're playing in the background is far too dramatic for what I'm saying.
It turns to a major chord.
They go on the West Coast trip, and we'll see. You know what I mean? But to me, I'm happy with Tyler. I feel like Jimmy is looking good. Duncan can sub in for Max because Max needs to take a rest. Kyle Lowry, you look like dumpster juice. That's not cool. We need to really work on that. Gabe Vincent is ready to take over that starting spot. But really, I have nothing to tell you guys other than this. If you take out a calculator, so this is a key point, you're going to need to find a calculator. There's likely one on your phone, and you add up Dwayne Deadman's salary, and then you add up Duncan Robinson's salary and Victor Oladipo's salary. You likely can get an impact player for those guys, and if you add in a couple picks. So be patient. You know what I mean?
A couple of picks.
Listen,
I dig it.
Couple of picks.
First of all, I don't know why you're talking about Duncan Robinson. He's like the third best player on the team right now.
Untradeable.
Hey,
untradeable.
Gotta make a deal work.
You need that money. Need that check.
Honestly, if you want to take out your calculator and talk about Deadman, if he just didn't play, the Heat are 4-0. Like literally, if they just went, if when Bam
I hate
sat
how
down,
true that is.
Yeah.
They put out a traffic cone with an afro.
Did he take a Kareem Skyhook? Like, was that for real?
Oh man.
No, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
His calculator has
Who do you
like the
think
fucking
you are,
paper.
Ewing? Like, what the fuck is that?
His calculator don't got a division sign.
Hey,
Deadman out there
can we
hooping
stop?
like Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy, man. I'm sick of this shit.
What's up?
Can we stop with Haywood Highsmith?
We're done. No, we're done.
Oh, done.
We're
done.
done.
Oh, no,
I don't know what he does.
I'm Low Smith on
done.
Highsmith.
And he takes up a seat on the bench, grabs
He
some
drives
water
a
every
bus
now
on
and
the
then.
weekends. What he does.
I mean, it's fine because I do nothing at work too, but damn, man. Come on.
Like, how much more fun would that have been if it was UD? And I mean, you got 0 points, 0 of 2 from the field, 2
Honestly,
turnovers.
UD will give you more.
UD can do that, yeah.
He would have had some
That's
turnovers.
what
He would have had
he
4
can do.
fouls though.
Yeah, whatever.
Hard fouls.
Good.
Yeah, but we'd be celebrating that
This
shit.
is the
That'd be
last
hard
year we
fouls,
get
yeah.
those. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we talk about the week that's gone past, let's just talk one last thing about the game. I got to do it. Lift the spirits up. Leif, let's do the gaga of the game. And this is actually going to lead into our first stat of the game. What is it? I don't know. Here we go.
Look at the extension.
That's what she said.
You know what? It's funny about Bam. There's so many times that becomes a little floater.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you could dunk from the free throw line off of 2 feet. Like, what are you doing? But that was beautiful. You know, there's just more of that, please.
He's tired. He has to play defense the whole game for everyone.
For everyone.
It's true. that is true. I don't think people talk about that enough.
That's yep.
Talk about a heavy load.
Chest to chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that was one highlight.
I was going to say, that's all we got for you tonight.
Good night.
That's it. End of segment.
But we do. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Bam and his driving. So we just saw right there when Bam goes to the hole. He is one of the most effective centers in the league. But there's a disturbing trend. We're actually going to come up with some imaging for this soon. We're going to look at some stats over the last week, or the week between hangover times. And there's been a disturbing trend with what's happening with Bam's offense. And we got our guy Kelly O'Burner on Twitter, part of Heatbeat, writes for heatbeat.com.
Hey.
And he brought us this stat right here. You got it, Brass?
I do.
So Bam, through the first 3 games, has recorded only 4 drives. And they're all right here in this little highlight reel. Last season, he averaged almost 4 drives per game, which was 4th among all centers in the NBA. We talked about Bam taking a leap this year. We talked about Bam being quote unquote more aggressive. I know Kenny hates to hear that. I don't know how many drives he's had tonight. But this is, I mean, it's disturbing. The fact that he's averaging less than 2 drives a game when he was almost at 4 last season. And we were expecting more of this season, not a retraction. So I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to go around the horn. What do you think is going on with Bam and his ability to get to the hole?
Spo is screaming at his ass to get the hell back on defense.
Moose, do we miss PJ that bad?
I do think we are missing not necessarily PJ, but we're missing another big that can get in position for a rebound and help out Bam on the defensive end as well. I do think Bam using up all of his energy to cover for everybody on defense, I do think that's affecting his offense.
I have a question. Who misses the other more? Do we miss PJ more, or does PJ miss us more?
PJ wants to be in South Beach so bad right now.
PJ wants to come home. Have you been to Philly?
Yeah.
I haven't, but it's trash.
Correct.
That's fair.
The whole city is just wet all the time. It ain't even rain, it's just wet. Like it just feels like that dumpster juice Greg was talking about earlier.
It's wet, but it's kind of dirty looking.
Yeah, it's just muddy. Philly's just gross.
Yeah.
Tiff,
Everybody there wear tight jerseys. It's not fun.
They fit when they bought them. They fit when they bought them. What do you think is happening with Bam and his ability to attack the rim?
Man, yeah, outside of him being tired, there's no space for him to operate. So they got to figure that out. There's literally no space on the floor because we're shooting like 7 threes a game. So there's no space out there. That's the problem.
Brass, actually, Kenny, I want you to talk about it. What do you think is happening with Bam right now?
There has to be more of an adjustment. We wanted him to add the jumper. He has, that looks cool, but he's kind of fallen in love with it at this point, and that's not great. But it's going to take some time. I'm sure he'll figure it out. I hope so. But I think that's what happened. It's just he's kind of fallen in love with the jumper, which cool, great, you added it, but motherfucker, like, get to the basket too.
Did he?
His jumpers look good. His jumpers look good.
His jumpers looks fine, but like somebody in the chat, where's that? Someone said it's everybody's in the paint when it's time for Bam to drive. I noticed that today. Bam has a full head of steam right at the rim. Only Gary Trent in front of him. Jimmy is trying to post up Fred VanVleet under the basket. Bro, clear out and either take your man,
Yep.
and if Fred VanVleet doesn't go to you, Bam will find you in the corner. But like to me, it's that same conversation of these twos taking up the same space and the same time on the basketball court, and it's starting to get frustrating again. But on a positive note, overall in the season, when Jimmy and Bam are on the floor, they're beating the shit out of other teams. They really are. So we can complain about the look and the feel of it. They're beating the holy hell out of teams when those guys are on the floor. But we did expect another level of aggression from Bam this year. I'm gonna keep saying aggression just to piss Kenny off because
he looks furious
at this point. Yeah, I just so don't care about tonight. Whatever, man.
Don't let Bam's lack of aggression make y'all forget that Kyle Lowry and Max Strus were one of 14 from 3.
We didn't even mention that.
Max
we didn't forget.
Has Max only had one good game? So
I intentionally forgot.
Max had 2 good games and 2 bad games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kyle's had 2 good games, 2 bad games. And through it all, if they just didn't play Deadman, they'd be finished.
I love it. I love it.
Well, we have another stat for you, courtesy of Kelly on Twitter. And this kind of speaks to this, a lot of people in the chat are saying, Tyler always has these issues with turnovers. This season, we haven't seen it. Go ahead, Brass. Kyle this year, for the season, had 4 turnovers. He had that in one quarter tonight. So he has improved that aspect of his game this year. So tonight was kind of an anomaly. So like I was talking to Kenny, and I'm not going to sit here and harp on it. Well, I am harping on it. But I'm not going to sit here and kill the guy for it. But it was bad tonight.
It was bad
right now he's first on the team in usage, tied for first on the team in field goal attempts, and second on the team in drives with only 4 turnovers. And that was coming into tonight's game. So Tyler has been excellent. He's been efficient, and he hasn't lost the ball despite having in his hands more than ever. But to Tiffany's point, this might be what's wearing him down when it comes to these fourth quarters. Like, this kind of just even further illustrates the point.
Back row.
Who's that, Melody?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're both pissed off with Tyler, I get it.
Well, maybe that goes more to Tiff's point.
I think they're wearing him down.
But that's part. You're gonna make that big money. You better
no, that is.
Yeah, but Tiff, I'm concerned. I have a question. Are you concerned about that, or are you just like, well, this is gonna take some time to adjust to this?
I don't think I'm concerned by it. I think he'll adjust. I think the problem is that we can't have him and Kyle at some point floundering together.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. That's the thing. I think Tyler, he's going to adjust and he'll move on And I think he'll figure out how to choose his spots better because he's coming out like gangbusters. So it's like boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden, you can see the energy level start to drop with him by the mid of like the third quarter. So he's young. He'll figure all that stuff out. But like I said, I like Kyle with the ball or Jimmy in the crunch because I'd like to see Tyler off ball, moving and cutting because he's good at it. And there's no reason he shouldn't, and he can shoot. So there's no reason he shouldn't be doing that.
And at the end of these games, they key in on guys like Tyler.
But that's why you take the ball out of his hand.
Yeah,
and
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, good
right.
point,
I mean, and you're asking him to shoulder that much of a load, and they're keying in on him at that point.
Right. And I think there's a problem, and I'm also noticing even with Max, because when Max has really good defensive games, his offense is going to pot. Like tonight, he had a good defensive game. And when he's like anywhere between +5 and +10 or 15, it seems like his offense is like taking a dip. So he's going to have to figure out how to get a better balance of saving his legs for shots, but also still being able to get down and box out and get in his stance. Because tonight, I think he was probably like +8, +9. And he's dipping when he's like, when the defense is good, the offense is dipping. So he's got to find a balance.
Leif, does a lot of this change when Depot comes back, do you think?
No. Frankly, I'm not expecting Oladipo to be this like lightning bolt that saves the season, a magic bullet, whatever you want to call it, some kind of anecdotal thing. Like that's not going to happen. Like I think that anything he brings to the table is incremental at this point. So like that's just how I feel about it. It's how I've approached it from day one. He has too much of an injury that needs to be managed on a day-by-day basis to count on him. So hopefully he can be ready to do something in the playoffs more than what he did last time. But he doesn't fix any of this unless he were to regain form. And like, are we really being serious? Is that honestly going to take place? I'd love to say yes. I'm a sunshine pumper at heart. But yo, I don't know, man. Like I feel like.
But to the point about Caleb and Caleb taking those backup minutes from Jimmy, if Jimmy's going to play 36 minutes a game, we can't get 12 solid minutes out of Depot.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
If that's the expectations, if that's like how you're actually like, that's refreshing context because most people think he's going to come out and be 20.
No, I'm not expecting Tyler from last year. That's what people
in brief stretches to blitz and do different things offensively. I think he absolutely can make a difference. But some of this stuff is like, they need a damn 4. Like,
there are other issues.
Let's stop being cute. And I said that from the off season. I'm still not that worried about the 4 thing. But what I do see right now, and you guys can disagree with me if you want, the team, and I think Tiff kind of pointed this out, the team is missing backfill, right? Like Bam goes out, there's nobody to come in for Bam. They're not even expecting Bam production. You just don't need to fall off a fucking cliff, right? Like you don't need Jimmy to come out and Highsmith. You don't want Bam to go out and Deadman, right? Like there's just the drop off. Like if you go from Jimmy to Depot, not too bad. You go from Bam to Jovic or Yurt, we're hoping that offensively they can make up for the dip in defense. Because right now you're getting a guy who can't play defense and can't score. And like is an automatic 8-0 run for the other team. And listen, I told Greg in the private chat, we're not talking about trades. I'm telling you one thing. This is my prediction at the trade deadline. Anybody going for that Wemby French kid, trade for Dwayne Deadman. He is the guarantee.
And Kyle Lowry.
Dwayne Deadman will get you the number 1 pick.
We need a pick.
Play Dwayne Deadman 30 minutes a game, and I guarantee you will have the best odds at the number 1. Kelly Olynyk is killing you, Utah. Killing you. You know what you should do? Get rid of his stinking ass and bring in a Dwayne Deadman who can lock up one of the best prospects we've seen in years. Like I'm telling you guys are missing the boat. There's going to be a bidding war for Dwayne Deadman at the trade deadline. And wherever he goes, he's playing 42 to 45 minutes a game. And the only thing that's going to stop him is he's going to get 6 fouls after 8. But that's not the point. There needs to be a bidding war for any tanking team looking to get this Wemby kid. I'm not gonna try to say his last name.
Wembanyama.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was a great job, Moose.
Report Magic after Kyle Lowry as they tank.
You got him.
Wembanyama. I saw what you were doing there, Al.
Out of here.
Hasta mañana. So first hangover time of the season for me was a loss. But you know what? Why are you laughing so hard, Moose?
It was just, I love the delivery of it. That was great.
Is it a bigger loss than the last hangover time, though?
Huh?
Is it a bigger loss than the last hangover time we did?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Oh, absolutely not.
hey, fuck that. Hey, I apologize for that last one. I don't know what the fuck we was on. That was horrible.
Hey,
there were a lot of factors on that.
To host.
Bro, Leif dropped off. I'm telling you, you guys had me forsaking a newborn baby because I was so afraid what was happening to my show. Like, I have a newborn child that I am ignoring.
Alf cut his Heat Beat paternity leave short because Gianni hosted the first episode of Hangover Time. He's like, nope.
Oh, my God.
Fucking not on my watch.
It was after a
coming to me at
loss. We
16
twisted the knife in these
feeling
motherfuckers.
abandoned. I'm blaming Giancarlo Navas
Yeah.
and that first hangover time of the season.
I'm so ashamed to be on camera for that episode.
That shit was
My
that shit,
God.
y'all. It was sad.
That shit was what?
I felt real bad. I
Why,
didn't even type in the chat. I was just like, I'm just gonna watch it. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
5 reasons your comments were hurtful. But you know what? You were fucking right on that episode, though. That was awful.
That was Game of Thrones final season. Just
stay with us.
Together.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
That's not a representation of us. I promise. I don't know what that was, but Jesus
I haven't
Christ.
watched it because
I will never watch that shit.
that shit is. I felt like it was cringe just from hearing what you guys were saying. Okay, so listen.
Anyway,
enough laughing at the Miami Heat or shitting on the Miami Heat. There's a whole league of teams. And one of the things that's fun about this year of Hangover Time, we have a week of shit to laugh at from around the NBA. And, you know, we started this last year and we were just doing little things here and there, but now we have a whole week of content and material. So we're going to find out what they're doing over there. What they doing over there?
That's my favorite intro.
He was Deadman that night. I do. I love that. Is my favorite imaging.
It's my favorite one.
It's so innocent and fun.
Like middle class white neighbors.
Tom Sawyer every time.
somebody in chat said Lowry killed that parlay. I'm sorry, man. Why would you bet that? But I'm sorry.
Let's check out what happened in the league this last week.
Okay, so here we have the petulant man, baby. Nikola Jokic. I want to call him Jokic. So he gets embarrassed, you know.
Typical.
What was that, Colin Sexton?
Yeah.
So he decides, I'm going to hit it. Like, come on, bro.
Fuck him.
Like this.
And of course, look at the score.
And his brother.
Brothers.
He'll never win a championship ever.
Asshole.
Look at this fucking little crybaby asshole.
You just get the slap on the wrist.
Oh, and then he's complaining. Oh, this is great. So Thanasis, go hit me with it, move.
Thanasis.
Listen, I love my brother to death. I will never pick his nose for him. Like he's
Alf, they used to do that for you right before 5 on the floor. Come on.
That's true. Oh, here are the Lakers.
Oh,
here they go.
Pat Beverly set this motherfucker up.
Oh.
As revenge for racism.
Set him up for failure. Look at this.
He wouldn't have dunked that on the 8-foot rim.
You've all seen this one. You've all seen this one.
Why am I so
Russ.
But look at Nurkic. He knows some bullshit. Watch Nurkic.
You saw when did you see when he didn't go out to Anthony Davis shooting the three?
Well, yeah. So everyone talks about this as if it's Russ's fault. because even LeBron and AD look at him like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? How can you take such a fucking terrible shot? I got news for you guys. Let's check this out. Oh, really? Fucking fantastic. Look at that. Oh my God.
Nurkic said, I'm going to pick my own goddamn nose.
The reason it took you 17 seasons to make the playoffs.
Brass,
Jesus, LeBron.
Brass,
LeBron, that ain't my boy. Hell no. Look at that.
Bo would kill him.
Jesus, man. Oh.
All right, good segment.
The Lakers' downfall makes me feel a lot better about my recently deceased grandmother. It's just like very calming. I don't want music for that.
Oh, I thought you wanted the sad music.
You get something off your chest. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right. There is one more thing. Lakers space has been going fucking crazy this week. We have to listen. We gotta listen to this.
Bulls, because they ain't doing shit right. Nobody give a fuck, nigga. Where the bet at? I need Jared Dudley on this nigga ass right now. I need Rondo on this nigga ass
Jared
right now.
Dudley.
I ain't with all that shit. That's why Coach Ham pulled your ass on the side. You ain't getting back on defense. Get your old ass back there. If you don't want to get back, take a game off, nigga. If you feel that time, take a game off. Go make a couple plays with some contracts. Let's go pick up a couple bags if you that tired, nigga. But I need you to get back. Let's start there. Number 2, you West Coast fans. Oh, I ain't forgot about you, nigga. Who thought it was right to bring him back in the game? Who the fuck on that bench thought it was smart to bring Russell Westbrook back in the game? My nigga Austin Reeves hooping. My nigga
Austin Reeves?
Cristiano doing the right things on the dirty work. Niggas is playing defense. We making shots. Patrick Beverly look better than Russ in this bitch. And this nigga Russ come back, then he gonna hit the game winner? You think you gonna hit a midi, nigga? Man, get the fuck out of here. You was 1 point across the motherfucking glass last year. What make you think you gonna hit the middies when we need you now, nigga? What made Coach Allen think he can go play the defense when we need you now, nigga?
Oh my God.
You know you mad when you call Austin Reeves your nigga.